there's been a bit of a controversy in the NFL. Brian Flores, who I have to say, I did not know up until this time was black. I thought he was a Spanish guy because Flores is a Spanish name, I think. Like, not a whole lot of, like, Floreses, you know what I mean? It's not like DeQuavius Flores. You know what I mean? You're thinking of, like, Rodrigo before that name. But Brian Flores was the coach of the Miami Dolphins. He was fired. And now, he's from Brooklyn? God damn. Oh, he probably is part Spanish then, if he's from Brooklyn. That's not a derogatory thing. That's just, there's a lot of Spanish people in New York. He is suing the NFL and I believe certain teams for like a lot of fucking money for racist hiring practices. And what's the other one? Oh, he said the most interesting part to me is that he said the Miami Dolphins owner was going to pay him $100,000 for each loss he had because they wanted the first pick in the draft. Which I have to say, if I was an owner, I would do the same shit. Don't you want the best? Like, who wants to be 8-8? No one. 8-8 sucks. It's like kissing your sister. I always thought it was weird when people say that, like, tying's like kissing your sister. It's like, really? Tying is like incest. Okay.
I don't know, man. 8-8 for Miami Dolphins is something. It's something. It's better than what it usually is.
They went 8-9,
he was
right?
actually he was a good coach.
He was an actual good coach.
Was he? Was he a good coach?
I think the whole idea is him losing his job came out kind of left field.
Yeah, they're saying that he lost his job a lot over like quarterback controversy.
Yeah,
like
him
that.
and Tua didn't get along. Which, I mean, he's not the first coach to get fired for not getting along with the quarterback. That fucking happens, especially if it's a young guy like Tua. But it's like, I think in those decisions, you got to choose. You going coach, you going quarterback. And I guess they like Tua. A guy named Tua Tagovailoa. How the fuck you say that motherfucker's last name? Tagovailoa. He belongs in Miami. He should be there. Miami's the only place I can fucking say his name. Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah. So, anyways, I guess the racist. Are you okay over there?
Made me laugh. Wrong.
Oh, okay. The racist part of what he's saying is that when NFL teams, so there's something called the Rooney Rule in the NFL where teams, when they're hiring for coaches, they have to hire at least one minority prospect to be their coach. So what he's saying is that coaches or teams were bringing him in to interview him with no real intention of hiring him, like already having someone who they want to hire, but just bringing him in to satisfy the Rooney Rule. But here's the thing. Here's why I don't like, I believe there should be across all things in life that are performance-based, a meritocracy, okay? There's a reason why there's like 3 white people in all of the NBA because none of us can dunk from a free throw. It's just how it is. If we could, we would be in the NBA more and use more than just shooting 3 throws or 3-pointers, okay? Same thing with NFL, predominantly a black sport. Am I right?
Yeah, to my knowledge.
How many white cornerbacks are in the league?
Maybe like 10.
Cornerbacks?
10, 8, 10.
Really?
8 to 10, yeah.
That would be, if there was 10, I would be surprised. There's probably 10 receivers, but there's, for some reason, I feel like there's like no white DBs.
Oh, yeah, I've known a couple of them. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you name any?
No, they have weird white names.
John Smith. But predominantly because black people are just better at being athletic. It's just how the fuck it is. I wish I could dunk from a free throw and I fucking can't. Okay? It is what it is. Same thing with coaching. There are good coaches. There are bad coaches. I don't think color has anything to do with it. Okay? If you said, hey, for the Steelers' next hire, would you like Marvin Lewis or Bill Belichick? I'm going to take Bill Belichick. Yeah. Not because he's white. Yeah. He's a better coach. Okay?
Coach. He's a good coach.
That's how it is. I don't think there's been a shortage of well, what I'm saying is I don't think that it behooves an NFL team to keep a black coach down because they just want to be racist. Like, if there's a black coach that's way better than everyone else, teams want to win the Super Bowl. That's what it is.
I think you see there's more positional coaches, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators,
right?
Defensive backs and all that good stuff. But I think that the whole thing was they're making a big thing about there no head coaches. But it doesn't really matter a head coach. Their positional coaches are still very essential.
Yeah, and if you asked me this question 50 years ago, or if you say 50 years ago, do you think there was racist hiring practice in the NFL? For sure. Of course there was. Mm-hmm. But like you said, there's a lot of black position coaches and coordinators and shit like that. But it's like you work your way up. So it's like now, if the position coaches are predominantly black folks, that means eventually head coaches will probably be predominantly black folks. So you got to work your way up. It's how it is.
But then I feel like they probably should do some kind of a testing or questionnaire with all the actual coaches and see if they want to move on. I mean, some people are maybe more comfortable being in that position because they have that position locked down. Being a head coach, you're adding a whole lot more pressure.
True, it's a lot more work. It's I have been friends with position coaches on the Steelers, and they get to go out and drink and have fun,
enjoy their lives. Yeah.
And head coaches really have no life all year long. They're always doing
That's
shit.
why they get paid the most.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
pressure.
it is a lot more money, and you get a lot more of the prestige when you win and shit like that. But some people, you're right. There's probably some people who just like, you know what? I like just fucking with the receivers. I want to coach receivers, and that's it. That's fair. But yeah, I think this is just another work by the media. It's like, what else can we make racial? Coaches. Who's hiring? It's like, it's not a viable, like, even if there was racial hiring practices and we fix that, is that really fixing racism? Are there other things we could worry about where there's actual racism happening? Like, it's not like Martin Luther King in his speech was like, I have a dream that I can see black coaches. It's like there's more important shit that we can worry about. Yeah. Yes or yes. Yeah. So, here's where I will say Brian Flores, I think he fucked up. I think he's going to make it harder for other minority coaches to get hired now, or it's going to be a lot more like, now people are just going to be more fake. It's like, if we had a restaurant and we had to bring in minority people, at least one minority person to hire as a manager, and we already knew we were going to hire John Smith, the Mormon, okay? Are there any black Mormons?
The fuck if I know. I don't fucking know.
Why would we talk about that?
That's not a black. I don't think that's a black thing, like a black religion.
They're like door to door. Nah.
They're more Baptists and Christians. That's where you see that.
Yeah, they're like, where the snakes at? I want to hold snakes and do cartwheels.
See that for sure.
In the fucking churches. That scared me. I see that before in a church. I was like,
ass boa constrictors. Like, yeah, I'm good.
I thought it was one of those rubber things that like kids play with toys. Like that
real.
thing. I was like, those motherfucking things look real.
Yeah. Real fucking snake.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. And we had to bring in a minority person to hire, but we already knew we were going to hire this white guy just because we knew he was going to do a good job. Yeah. And we brought him in like, yeah, how long you been in this? Okay, all right, cool, all right, see ya. Thanks for coming. It's like, yeah, was it shitty? We had to do that. And it's shitty that we had to waste that guy's time, but we had to follow the rules, right? That's what these NFL teams are doing. But now it's just going to be more fake, where these guys who come in, these minority hire or prospects, are going to be even really think they have a chance to actually get the job, when really they had no chance. It's like, if I had no chance to get a job, tell me that so I can go somewhere else. So I don't wait for you to call me.
If I'm being honest, man, if you look at the NFL, kind of the life of a head coach, when it comes to these days, I'm not talking about the Bill Belichick or anything like that. I'm talking about like the newer guys. They get fired after the second year.
I know. I don't get that.
Like, I'm not in. But look at the positional coaches. They're good. They're relaxed. I'm not in a rush to get fired.
Right.
To lose my job in 2 years because the fucking quarterback has fucking CTE. Honestly, I don't lose my job because I'm putting all my fucking eggs in one basket with these players who may not believe or may believe, I'm not sure, and what the fuck I have to bring to the table.
Yeah, there's a lot less like, if the offense sucks, no one's going to be like, it's the receivers who suck. Let's fire the receivers coach.
Fire the coach.
Let's fire the offensive coordinator. Let's fire the coach.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Like, I'm like even Brian Flores, like, he was only there a year, right?
Yeah, just a year, I believe.
It's like, I think you got to give a coach 4 years. 2 years? Yeah. I think you got to give a coach 4 years.
What was his last year record?
8-9. I think that Miami's was 8-9 this year. But I think when they drafted Tua, they expected a lot more.
Possibly, yeah. He come from Alabama, and yeah.
And I could see where it's like, hey, look, dude, if you're just gonna be not working with our quarterback, we're getting rid of you.
That's what it is, then.
And I guess the way Brian Flores knows that these teams didn't actually intend on ever hiring him was Bill Belichick. So the Giants hired Brian Daboll,
the greatest coach in the world.
Yeah. So the Giants hired a guy named Brian Daboll. And the Giants also brought in Brian Flores to interview. It was after Giants already knew they're going to hire Brian Daboll. Mm-hmm. So before Brian Flores even went for the interview, Bill Belichick sends him a text and says, hey, Brian, congrats on getting the job. Bill Belichick meant to send it to Brian Dable, not Brian Flores. Oops.
Old guy-itis.
Yeah. Oops.
What name is this?
So he knew that he had no chance to get that job. Does that suck? Yes. But the teams are just following the rules that the NFL instituted. Yep. Forced diversity is not diversity. If you're forcing motherfuckers to hire minorities, that's not diversity. That's coercion.
Yeah. I feel like if the organization has a certain plan they want and they have a certain coach that they want, and I guess they sit down, talk to the coach, they have a good outlook of what they want together, then hire the coach, man.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck Asian, Chinese, black, white. If they like the coach, hire the coach.
Yeah. I have a friend who's in finance, and he was saying that there is no racism in business. Capitalism doesn't allow for racism. If you are going to make me more money, I don't care who you are, what you look like.
Yeah.
You're coming in, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing in football, man. These people want to win. Yeah. There's no Richard Spencers in fucking football who are like, I only want to win with whites. You know what I mean? They all want to win. So it's like, if there's a coach who's going to lead to them winning, okay? Like, that's the thing with Mike Tomlin, right? A lot of people think in Pittsburgh they're keeping Mike Tomlin because he's black. The likelihood of that being true is so small because winning to the Steelers is so important. If they really did, I don't like Mike Tomlin, okay? Has nothing to do with his blackness. I just don't like how he coaches. But if the Steelers didn't really believe that he was going to win, they would get the fuck rid of him and bring in if it was a white guy that would do better, they would do that shit. Pittsburgh is not a not racist town. Pittsburgh is probably one of the more racist towns in America.
Really?
Really?
I mean, being around, no, not really. Oh, white people love me.
And Coriopolis. Yeah. There's some pretty racist parts.
I'm sure.
Like, there's white ghettos in Pittsburgh. They're just like,
oh, I'm sure.
It's like Southie in Boston.
I'm very sure. The trailer park areas.
Yeah. You get on that like Monongahela River area.
I stay away from those.
Those old steelworker descendants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No. Pittsburgh. You know what? 10 years ago, much more racist than it is now. It's a much more hipster kind of tech kind of city. Yeah. 10, 15 years ago, it was much different. It was a lot of blue collar, just like, you know, fucking Moulin's coming in. Like that kind of, thing. Yeah. But if I'm a black coach, right, I'm like, wow, Brian Flores, why the fuck are you suing these people? Because you're just making it harder for everyone else now to get hired. It's like when a girl sues a company for sexual harassment. A lot of companies go, you know what? We're not hiring no more girls. I don't want to deal with these problems.
Yeah.
That happens. I know offices that won't hire girls for like to be secretaries and shit in their office because of that.
Makes sense.
They don't want to deal with a sexual harassment case.
Yeah.
Now, someone might reply, don't sexually harass.
Of course.
Fair point. That's a fair point.
True as it gets.
But in all groups of people, in all genders, races, classes, there are unscrupulous folks who are going to try to get money out of you, extort you through the legal system. Yeah. That's how it is. There's black people who do it. There's white people who do it. There's men and women that will do it.
People in general, man.
There's all types of people that will try to extort you through law. So it's like, to protect ourselves, you know what? No more girls. You know what? To protect ourselves, even though we know we're going to hire this one guy, let's interview this black guy first. Okay, so we can be like, hey, we didn't know who we're going to hire. And then let's interview everyone else. And let's make it more fake. Let's hide it even more. That's all this shit does, is hide, like, honest thought. And, like, because I believe people are not inherently racist. I don't believe that.
Of course not. No one is born to be fucking racist, man.
I believe groups of people are inherently racist, but I don't think that people individually are racist. Meaning, like, since the beginning of time, it's been like Hutu, Tutsi fight each other. Cherokee versus some other Indian name. How can I not think of it? What's another Indian name?
Sequoia.
Sequoia. I thought that was a Toyota. Fight each other.
That's a girl I knew in third grade.
Really?
Sequoia. I know it third.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know a girl named Sequoia too.
Yeah.
She's not Native American. She's black.
She's black as shit.
Yeah.
She's black as shit.
Man, all these black people culturally appropriating these poor little American Indian people.
That's a nice name.
It isn't. Was she hot? Oh, she was in third grade, you said?
Yeah, I'm not.
Was she hot?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but it's like we don't want to be racist as people, especially in these days. So it's like, what NFL owner is going to be like, hey, look, general manager, I know what is going on, but you only hire whites around here. It's like,
what you're saying is making a lot of sense because the same thing that happened with the whole the homosexual community,
right?
The LGBT. I don't know what letters. I apologize.
LGBTQ, LMNOP,
yeah,
plus,
but
plus
like
XY banana.
Them and Dave Chappelle. The whole idea of, if you want to be one, we have to be one. You have to be able to be. It's okay to make fun of you. It's okay to talk about the problems. It's okay. We're all. You want to be one.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's okay to not get hired.
It's okay. I mean, it's okay.
Maybe you're not hireable.
There's a lot of teams out there. There's a lot of organizations.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit going on out there.
Yeah.
Try something different.
And I think that might be it too, where like he might have some people in his ear like, hey man, it's not looking good for you to get hired somewhere, or if you do, it's gonna be somewhere like Jaguars or Texans or some shit like that. So why don't we try to get some money now and then go to Cancun?
I mean, honest, I'm not sure of the reports, man, but usually a lot of head coaches don't leave another job to be another head coach, especially when they got fired. They take a positional
especially
coach.
At their first head coaching spot. Yeah.
So they take another a position coach, stay there for another year or two, and then they get bumped up back to the head coach.
Yeah, or they go to college or something like that.
That's what it is, man. That's the way of the world, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I really feel like there are powers, whether it's media, whether it's business leaders, I don't know who it is, government leaders, who would like us to believe that everything is racist all the time. And it's like, dude, what industry creates more millionaires than the NFL?
Yeah.
Or sports in general? Like, just sports.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's not like when he was like, yeah, NFL's like racism or NFL's like slavery. Really? Do you think if we took
that was a dumb fucking comment,
why don't we
man.
resurrect fucking some poor guy named Joe who's working on a plantation in Tennessee and be like, hey, these guys play a sport and make millions of dollars. Isn't there the same one thing what you went through?
For no money.
Like, for fuck's sake, dude. Like, can we like
come on, that was a dumb fucking I heard that one day.
Yeah, it's just like when people got whipped to work and weren't allowed to read or marry. That's just like the NFL.
Oh my god, that was so fucking stupid. I feel like you said, that with media, they are tied together. They're making this thing a whole lot bigger than they should.
Yeah,
the idea of saying slavery, NFL is like slavery. So it's like NFL, you can walk around with an $80,000 necklace on, hop into a $230,000 car. And all because you get, I guess what is that? The college combine,
right?
They measure you and weight you, like it's an athlete. It's an athletic sport. It's just what it is, man.
Yep.
Common fucking
the
sense.
moment you get drafted, you're in the top 1.1 of 1%,
just like
in
that.
the world,
just like that.
As soon as you're drafted,
that's not slavery, people. That's not slavery.
No, I understand. Only for all the people who try to get to the NFL, very few amount of people make it, but. Like, if you're in the NFL, it's nothing like it. To even say it's like slavery, like if a white person said the NFL is like slavery, they'd be like, you need to have some respect for like what slavery was, you fucking racist piece of shit. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's a ridiculous notion. But we'll have to see how this plays out. I don't think it's going to go the way Brian Flores wanted to.
No.
Like, usually, I don't think it's a great practice to sue billionaires. But we'll see how it works out for him.
They got really good lawyers.
What's that?
They got really good lawyers. They tend to have really fucking good lawyers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, I don't know, man.
Passion on the floor tonight.